Good morning, my dear friends. Today I am going to teach you development of lateral surface of solids. Myself, Dr. Madhukeshwarayan, Professor and Dean Academics, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Jain Institute of Technology, Davangere. Let us start Solid Edge. I am using Solid Edge 2021 software. Open the new isometric draft. File. Now go to the sheet background. Select A4 sheet. Zoom and remove the title box and turn off the background. Next, go to the sheet setup, select A4 sheet and then zoom. Now select the text, type the problem, select Times New Roman font and font size 5. Now the problem is like this: a regular pentagonal pyramid of base side 35 millimeter and height 65 millimeter has its base on horizontal plane with a side of base perpendicular to vertical plane. The pyramid is cut by a sectional plane which is perpendicular to vertical plane and inclined at 30 degree to HP. You can select the degree symbol by selecting the degree in the text bar. The cutting plane meets the axis of the pyramid at a point 30 millimeter below the vertical vertex. Obtain the development of the remaining portions of the pyramid. Now this is the problem. We have a regular pentagonal pyramid, base side 35 and height 65, whereas one side is perpendicular to VP and it is cut by a sectional plane which is perpendicular to VP and inclined 30 degree to the horizontal plane, and also it passes uh, through the axis at a 30 millimeter below the vertex. Draw the XY line. Select pentagon by center. Initially draw a pentagon with one side perpendicular to the XY line. Using smart dimension, enter the side length as 35. Rearrange the pentagon as well as the XY line. Select the line thickness as 0.5 so that all the sides of the pentagon, base sides of the pentagon are visible, so that make them dark. In order to identify the center, join any one corner of the pentagon to the midpoint of the opposite side. Trim the extra portions. We'll get the center. Join all the corners to the center so that you will get the top view of the slant edges of the pentagonal pyramid. Project all the base corners up to XY line. And also apex of the pentagonal pyramid up to XY line. Now select line length as 35 because 60 minus of 30 will be 35 and the remaining 30 axis you add by selecting one more line. Make these two lines of axis type. Now draw all the slant edges of the pentagonal pyramid connecting apex to the base corners. Draw a horizontal line below 30 mm from the apex. And also draw a cutting section. Since it is perpendicular to VP, it appears as a line. This passes through 30 mm below the apex, which is at an angle of 30° to the horizontal plane. The bottom portion of the pyramid is the retained portion, so that I can make it dark. Select the line thickness as 0.5 mm so that the bottom portion of the pyramid appears darker. Now select the text, name the corners of the base in the top view. Arrange them properly by using move command. Which is in the sketch bar. Mark the apex as point O. Mark the points on the front view. Now mark X, Y, and also mark the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. Arrange all the labels properly. Using smart dimension, mark the height of the pyramid and also show that the cutting section moves or cuts the axis at a distance of 30 millimeter from the apex. Now name the points where the cutting section crosses the or cuts the slant edges. So 1 dash 5 dash indicates that the point 1 will be on AO and the point 5 will be on EO. 2 dash and 4 dash indicates that the cutting section cuts the B dash O on 2 dash point and D dash O point on 4 dash. The point 3 dash indicates that the slant edge C dash O will be cut at a point 3 dash. Now arrange all the labels properly. If you want, you can draw points on these points 1 dash 5 dash 2 dash 4 dash and 3 dash. Now draw vertical projection lines from the front view towards the top view side to mark the same points where the cutting section cuts the slant edges on the top view. Now join all the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Name the points. Arrange these points, labels in a proper manner. Now using the smart dimension, get the true length of a slant edge CO that will be coming around 71.49 millimeter. Project all the points 1 dash, 5 dash, 2 dash, 4 dash onto the right side C dash O point, so that you will get the true length of these lines, because the C dash O is parallel to the XY line as well as parallel to the vertical plane, so that any length projected on this line will be the true length. In order to get the smart dimension of these lines, you can draw overlapping lines and then using smart dimension mark all the dimensions. So that you will get the true lengths of A dash 1 dash, E dash 5 dash, as well as B dash 2 dash and D dash 4 dash, and finally C dash 3 dash, as well as the total slant height of the C dash O. Now this is the front view and top view with cut section, as top view is over. Now you can show the top view visible edges as dark edges by changing the thickness of the line to 0.5 millimeter. Now I am drawing an arc by taking the arc length similar to that of the true length of the slant edge of the pyramid, that is 71.49. You can draw by taking arc by center to an arbitrary arc length. Since it is a construction line, make the thickness of the arc as 0.13 millimeter. Now the side of the base is 35 millimeter. Cut 5 sides of 35 millimeter onto the arc, joining the end points of the each 35 millimeter lines, so that you will get 5 true shapes of the slant faces of the triangular slant triangular faces of the pentagonal base pyramid. Now you can see I have drawn 5 base edges. Now join all the corners of the base edges to the apex. For that, you can also select rotate command, multiple copies on, select the same line, click on the end points of the base edges, so that you will get 5 triangles which represents the true shape of the slant face. You can move it and accommodate, because we are having still lot of space in the sheet. I have made all these slant edges thin line. Once I complete the development, only the retained portion I will make it darker. Mark all the points with the capital letters, that is the point of the corner of the base. So these points represents the base corners. Mark apex as capital O. Now take the true length 29.52 on AO, and the same length on the other side of slant edge AO. Now 40.99 on DO. Since AO and EO points 1 and 5 dash are having the same true lengths, mark the point 29.52 on EO, and then join all the points. Mark the points as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the closing point 1. You can show the true length of AO as well as AB, BC, CD, DE and EA. These are all the base edges which are having equal length of 35, and the slant edge true length is 71.49 millimeter. Only retained portion of the solid I have made as dark, and the remaining top portion, cut portion, I have made with the thin lines. So this is the development of the lateral surfaces of the cut section of pentagonal pyramid. Now you can save your drawing development problem. So with this I will conclude this problem. Thank you very much.